Today, Monday, September 16th, it is 4:45, and I do detect a quorum, first of all, with myself present, Councilmember Allen present, Councilmember Cap present, Councilmember Cortez present, Councilmember Horton present, Councilmember Parker present, Councilmember Rutherford, Vice Chair present, and Councilmember Vo present. We don't have anyone signed up for public comment. And so without objection, we'll get started with the meeting. And before we get started, I do want to say that we do have a new vice chair. I look forward to serving as your chair of the Planning and Zoning Committee for this second year as being elected by the council body for a 2-year term. Really appreciate the work of our council member Harold, who served as vice chair in the first year. He did a great job, and I look forward to seeing him in more leadership positions on committees moving forward. I have asked Councilmember John Rutherford, to serve as vice chair for this second year. As you all know, Councilmember Rutherford has a lot of experience in this role. He served as vice chair in the last term, and look forward to working with him in this second year as chair. So thank you, Councilmember Rutherford, for accepting the vice chairmanship. And also, I will note that the Vice Mayor Henderson, asked all of the committee chairs to submit a memo, a transition memo for chairs of all the committees. And although I wasn't transitioning out, I did also submit a memo that focused on goals and objectives for the Planning Committee for the coming year, for this new year. And have asked the council office to help set up, one of my goals is to have one-on-one publicly noticed meetings with each committee member, just to talk about goals and objectives for this year and the expectations of the planning chair. So you'll be getting an email within the next day or two from the council office to help set up those meetings, and I would appreciate it if you would respond. I look forward to meeting all of you and hearing your ideas and plans for our year ahead. So with that, we will move forward with the council agenda without further objection, starting with the consent agenda. And I'll read off the numbers for consent. If anything needs to be pulled off, please let me know. Starting with Resolution 2024-705, Resolution 706, Resolution 707, 710, 711, 726, bills on second reading, Bill 2024-516, 519, 520, 521, 522, 523, 524, 525, bills on third reading, 483, 44 is not on consent, 485 is not on consent, 488 is on consent, 489, 491, is on consent, with a letter to defer one meeting, not a letter to approve, but 491 by Councilmember Taylor submitted a letter to defer one meeting. So that is on consent for defer one meeting. 492 is on consent, 493, 494, and that's it. Do any of those need to be pulled off of the consent agenda? Okay, thank you. I will read the captions. Starting with RS 2024-705, Porterfield, Gamble, Welch, and Gadd approves Amendment 1 to a grant from the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation, Tennessee Historical Commission, to the Metropolitan Historical Commission to provide a comprehensive countywide cemetery preservation plan for Davidson County, Tennessee. RS 2024-706, Porterfield, Gamble, Welch accepts a grant from the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation, Tennessee Historical Commission, to the Metropolitan Historical Commission to provide a comprehensive countywide cemetery preservation plan, Phase 4. RS 2024-707, Coopin, Porterfield, Gamble, and others authorize the Metropolitan Development and Housing Agency to negotiate and enter into a pilot agreement and accept payments in lieu of ad valorem taxes with respect to a multifamily housing project located at 1622 Rosa L. Parks Boulevard. RS 2024-709 is not on consent. RS 2024-710, Porterfield, Gamble, Welch, and others, approves the First Amendment to a grant contract for constructing affordable housing approved by RS 2022-1857 between the Metropolitan Housing Trust Fund Commission and Living Development Concepts, Inc. RS 2024-711, Porterfield, Gamble, Welch, and others, approves the Second Amendment to a grant contract for constructing affordable housing approved by RS 2022-1857 between the Metropolitan Housing Trust Fund Commission and Woodbine Community Organizations, Inc. RS 2024-726, Johnston, Porterfield, Gamble, and others, approves a project modification to an agreement between the Metropolitan Government and the United States Department of Army to add 2 parcels related to an acquisition and removal of flood-prone properties in the 7 Mile Creek watersheds. Bills on second reading, Bill 2024-516, Bradford, Porterfield, Evans, and others, an ordinance approving the Second Amendment to a lease agreement between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County and Nashville Metropolitan LLC for office space at 1281 Murfreesboro Pike. Bill 2024-519, Cooper, Porterfield, Gamble, and others, approves an amended and restated agreement for a grant of a greenway conservation easement between the Metropolitan Board of Parks and Recreation and Byline Property Owner LLC for greenway improvements between 2nd Avenue North and 1st Avenue North, north of Van Buren Street, and particularly on parcels 08205013400, 08205013900, 08205014000, and 08205013300. Bill 2024-520, Benedict, Gamble, and others, authorizes the Metropolitan Government to abandon a portion of existing public utility easement rights for property located at 1520 Duggar Drive. Bill 2024-521, Gamble Parker, authorizing Metropolitan Government to acquire permanent and temporary easements through the negotiation, condemnation, and acceptance for the Morrow Road Stormwater Improvement Project for 8 properties located on Morrow Road and Delray Court. Bill 2024-522, Gamble Parker, authorizing Metropolitan Government to accept new public water and sanitary sewer mains, new public fire hydrant assemblies, new public sanitary sewer manholes and easements for 5 properties located on Cane Ridge Road, also known as Parks at Cane Ridge Phase 1D. Bill 2024-523, Toombs, Gamble, Parker, authorized Metropolitan Government to abandon existing public sanitary sewer main, sanitary sewer manhole, and easement for 2 properties located at 858 and 864 West Trinity Lane, also known as Northview Senior Living. Bill 2024-524, Gamble Parker, authorizing Metropolitan Government to accept new public sanitary sewer mains, sanitary sewer manholes, and easements for 4 properties located on Sam Donald Road in Brentwood County, also known as Erico Subdivision. Bill 2024-525, Huffman Gamble Parker, authorizing Metropolitan Government to accept new public sanitary sewer main, new sanitary sewer manhole and easements for property located at 3171 Lebanon Pike, also known as Jackson Downs. Bills on third reading, Bill 2024-483, Parker Cap Benedict, amends Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws and Zoning Ordinance of the Metropolitan Government by canceling the Gallatin Pike Urban Design Overlay on various properties along Gallatin Pike, all described herein. Bill 2024-44, Rutherford, is not on consent. Bill 2024-488, Parker, amends Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws and the Zoning Ordinance of the Metropolitan Government by amending a specific plan on properties located at Bethwood Drive, unnumbered, and Allenwood Drive, unnumbered, at the northern terminus of Bethwood Drive, zoned SP, to remove 1.35 acres from the SP boundary, all of which described herein. Bill 2024-49, Parker, amends Title 17 Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government by changing from SP to RS 7.5 zoning for a portion of property located at Bethwood Drive at the northern terminus of Bethwood Drive, all of which described herein. Bill 2024-491, Taylor, amends Title 17 Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government by changing from RX 6A to RS5 zoning for properties located at 1712 ABC Arthur Avenue, approximately 249 feet west of Jane Street, 0.17 acres, and located within the detached accessory dwelling unit overlay district. This is deferred for 1 meeting. Bill 2024-491, Toombs, amends Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government by changing from R15 to RM2 NS zoning for properties located at 574, 574C, and 576 Ewing Drive, approximately 205 feet west of Vista Lane. BL 2024-493 VO amends Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws and Zoning Ordinance of Metropolitan Government by changing a specific plan for properties located at 307 Bianca Page Way, 1502 4th Avenue South, and 1414 4th Avenue South at the northeast corner of Bianca Page Way and 4th Avenue South zone. Specific plan to modify and permitted uses and remove .47 acres from the specific plan boundary. And BL 2024-494 VO amends Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government by changing from SP and IWD to MULANS zoning for properties located at 1500, 1502, 1504 4th Avenue South, and 307 Bianca Page Way at the southeastern corner of 4th Avenue South and Bianca Page Way, all of which is described herein. May I have a motion for the consent agenda? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get Councilmember Allen.
Sorry, Madam Chair, once I heard the captions, can I take RS 2024-709 off consent, please?
Okay, that is number 4. That one's not on consent. Anything else need to come off? Okay. Motion for the consent agenda. Did we moved and properly seconded? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. All right. Oh, you got 9, okay. And now moving to the items not on consent, starting with number 4 on your agenda, RS 2024-709, Porterfield, Gamble, Weiner, and others, authorizes grants not exceeding $26,234,615 from the Barnes Fund for Affordable Housing to certain nonprofits for the express purpose of constructing and rehabilitating affordable or workforce housing. May I have a motion? May I have a motion? Moved and properly seconded. Now for discussion. Councilmember Allen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just need to be recorded as abstaining.
Thank you so much. I did leave this off of consent and thought it would be great for the public to hear about which organizations are receiving funding, those amounts, and how many housing units we'll get from this. And so I see Director Hubbard in the audience. If someone would like to come to the podium to give us that information.
Thank you, Chair, and I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our new Housing Trust Fund Manager, Catherine Middlebrooks, who's going to stand next to me, because sometimes you'll see her and not me, and wanted to make sure you recognize her. We are super excited for this first round of contracts that are before you tonight. This is part of our round 13, which is our FY24 funding plus some American Rescue Plan Act dollars. So tonight for your consideration are 13 contracts. The list of all the nonprofits are in your packet or in the legislation, but this is to award $26.2 million in Barnes Fund and ARPA funds that will create and preserve 902 homes. Affordable, the rental homes are affordable to persons with incomes at or below 60% of our area median income, and homeownership at 80%. And then in 2 weeks, you'll have 3 more contracts that'll total 11 points. I'm just going to bring it all together so you can see what's coming before you in the next 2 weeks, totaling $11.7 million for 351 homes. So by the end of the next few weeks, you will have considered funding $37.9 million for the creation and preservation of over 1,200 affordable homes. So we're really excited. We have a whole lot. I think this is the most nonprofits we've ever funded. We have 13 unique ones today, and then 3 more coming in 2 weeks, in at least 9 different council districts.
Wonderful. Thank you for that report and your hard work on that.
Thank you.
Are there any questions or comments? Councilmember Allen? No. Oh, okay. All right. Well, without further discussion, we're ready to take a vote. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Oh, yes, we have 1 abstention. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Moving on to number 17 on our agenda. BL 2024-484 by Councilmember Rutherford amends Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the metropolitan government by changing from AR2A to SP zoning for property located at 7088 Burkett Road, approximately 550 feet east of Old Burkett Road, 11.63 acres, to permit up to 119 multifamily residential units, all described wherein. And there is a proposed amendment on this bill. Councilmember Rutherford, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Do we want to take the next item with it too, or can we, given the amendment?
Yes, we can take them together. Thank you. So we'll take with that Bill 2024-485, which authorizes building material restrictions and requirements for Bill 2024-484, a proposed specific plan zoning district on property located at 7088 Burkett Road.
Thank you. And motion for approval to hear the amendment. The motion on the amendment.
Motion seconded. Motion and seconded. So we're on discussion.
The amendment is from where the Planning Commission modified conditions relative to the northern cul-de-sac. This was the revised site plan reflects that change, and all parties are in agreement with that, including the developer and the community, because this came really from community engagement, which led to the amendment primarily. So with that, I renew my motion on the amendment.
Thank you, Vice Chair Rutherford. Any other comments or questions on the amendment? With no further discussion, we'll take a vote. All those in favor of the amendment say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Now we're on your bill as amended.
I move approval on both as amended.
Councilmember Allen, did you have a question?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I always look at the school capacity information that the planning department worked so hard to put together. And this is a 119 multifamily residential units. It will add 29 additional students. The elementary school is at capacity and the high school is over capacity. Is this an area that I hope is close to where we're buying more property so we can build more schools? Can anyone answer that?
The sponsor, Councilmember Rutherford, would you like to answer that?
I can give at least some feedback to that. I know this is not exactly in the vicinity of where the new public school is going to be in Antioch, but once that school comes online, then that will allow for everyone in the general area to compress a little bit, and so that will be helpful.
Thank you. Any further questions? All right, without further discussion, we'll take item 484 and 485 together for a vote. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to BL 2024-490, number 21 by Stiles. And there is a proposed substitute, which I believe we have in this packet. Amends Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government, a request to amend a specific plan for properties located at 12610 Old Hickory Boulevard and Old Hickory Boulevard, approximately 655 feet east of Hobson Pike, zoned SP, to permit warehouse and office uses, all described wherein. May I have a motion? Moved and properly seconded, and I don't have a letter. I don't see a letter. I thought there was a letter in here. Okay. I guess, is someone here from planning can talk about the substitute? Okay, well, I will go on and sign on to the bill so that we can hear about it. I don't have a letter from the sponsor. So we'll move, take a motion, move to move the substitute. May I have a second? Moved and properly seconded, and we'll go to the planning table.
Thank you, Chair Gamble, and to Planning and Zoning Committee members. Councilmember Stiles had been working with the property owner of this property as well as with an adjacent property owner, and the impetus for this was to create an access easement across this property to reach another property, just as kind of background. And so the request was reviewed by the planning department as well as other departments, most importantly NDOT. There are some narrow road conditions and bridge conditions that are further up Old Hickory Boulevard that would need to be improved before industrial truck traffic could go along that portion of the road. That was something that came up during public comment. It was reviewed by NDOT, and we have come to a solution that is satisfactory to NDOT, most importantly, as well as to Councilmember Stiles. Otherwise, the SP in the amendment adds conditions that were put in place by the Planning Commission, and with this, it would be considered an approved bill.
Thank you. Thank you for that explanation. Are there any questions or comments? All right, without further discussion, we're ready for a vote. All those in favor of the proposed substitute say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. We don't have to take it as a bill. Okay, now we'll take the bill as substituted. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. And I think that concludes our agenda for today. Thank you so much for your attention.